Welcome to Kulan. This site is a public playground, preschool and recreation area. You will now see and try different design alternatives in Kulan. The objective is to find ways of making the site better able to deal with the effects of climate change and biodiversity loss, while being an even more attractive place for people. After you're finished, you can submit your choices. The local planners are eager to hear your ideas. To start exploring Kulan, begin by pressing the Map button. In front of you, you can see a mini model of Kulan with 4 different locations to visit. Each location represents one function the natural landscape can provide: biodiversity and pollination, air temperature and flood control, air quality, human well-being and recreation. At each of the 4 locations, you can try different design alternatives. When you try the alternatives, you will see and hear the effects they have on Kulan. Press any of these signs. Welcome to your first location. Press the green play button to start. Trees are an important part of Stockholm's ecosystem. Trees provide shade on hot days and can prevent flooding by absorbing rainwater. They are home to insects and birds and a source of nectar and pollen for bees. Even dead tree trunks play an important role as home to insects. And without insects, what would birds eat? Now try the different design alternatives. What object would you like to place at this location? Great! If you change your mind, you can always revisit this location and make another decision. Now use the button to access the mini-map and use it to visit another location. Most of the surface in Kulan is either asphalt or gravel. Asphalt contributes to rising temperatures locally because when it gets hot, it releases a lot of heat. Also, while it facilitates access, it also hurts if you fall. Gravel isn't as hard as asphalt, but it prevents any vegetation from growing on it. There are alternatives. Meadows with different types of flowers absorb heat and water, plus they attract pollinators like bees. At the same time, kids playing in the meadow can learn about different flowers and insects. Gardening is another alternative. Putting a few planting beds means kids and adults can grow fresh vegetables. Bees will be happy too. Now try the different design alternatives. What object would you like to place at this location? Skärholmen is home to young and older people who sometimes have different wishes and preferences of how the landscape should look or what activities it should offer. The planners in Skärholmen want to know what your ideas are for developing Kulan in a way that's good for people and nature. Now try the different design alternatives. What object would you like to place at this location? "40,000 people live in Skärholmen now, and by 2040 there will be 50,000. That means a population increase of 25%. Over the next few years, a lot of new housing will be built in Skärholmen. The design and location of the new buildings can either enhance or prevent the important functions that nature performs. Likewise, along with the growing population, the presence of cars will also increase, which can negatively affect the local air quality. When plants grow on the facade and roof of a building, they bring it to life by absorbing carbon dioxide, cleaning and cooling the air, and helping to keep a stable indoor temperature and absorbing rainwater. Research shows that seeing green plants and hearing birdsong and insects lowers blood pressure and relaxes us. Now try the different design alternatives. What object would you like to place at this location? This is what can happen in the future. Maybe some of it, maybe all of it. It rains more in the city, and the warm days have become warmer. This is Kulan, and the year is 2040. The decisions made in the 2020s have contributed to make this site what it is today. There are more natural spaces and less hard, impervious asphalt. The trees and bushes have grown up. They provide both shade and fruit. They also help to absorb the rain. There are more flowers both here and in other places in Skärholmen. Thanks to conscious planning and people's own initiatives, there are plenty of pollinators. The ideas that people sent to the planners years ago seem to have been a source of inspiration. Kulan is a great example of how collaboration and innovative thinking can help create areas that can change and improve, even when the climate changes beyond the control of local people. Kulan is a great example of how collaboration and innovative thinking can help create areas that can adapt and improve, even when things change that are beyond the control of local people. This is Kulan, and the year is 2040. The decisions made in the 2020s have had big impacts. There are more buildings around this site and in many other places in Stockholm. There is still a lot of asphalt. It's raining more, so it's often flooded, and the city struggles to manage the excess water. It gets really hot here in the summer, and people avoid coming because of the excessive heat. There's only little greenery, most of it just grass. There's more traffic and more buildings. The air quality is worse than it was before. There aren't enough flowers or plants and trees to attract pollinators. It's no longer a place for children to play because there's nothing to do and it doesn't feel safe. People don't care about this place. They should have looked for solutions that could work for several problems at once.